3 o'clock this afternoon in front of the
Are we doing,
courthouse.
you're just here early for the meeting at 10?
Dedication for Revolutionary War soldiers from Boyle
Never
County.
mind. Thank you.
Before it was Boyle County, before it was a state. Long before.
If you didn't catch
forgot all
my
about it.
error, swap out page 30.
Thank you, buddy.
Oh,
Thank
on
you.
what you just gave us?
If you didn't catch
Somebody's
my
lost.
mistake,
I haven't been there yet.
you can swap out
I
page
told them, I
32.
said, you know, where's, I like,
No,
button up shirts and you
Well,
like
I
more than
used
that.
some
Button up
language
shirt.
from,
Well, you're gonna read pretty sure.
Oldham County.
Walmart. No, you're kidding.
They make it good.
Yeah, beautiful. So
10 bucks.
I gotta find out where I get these shirts.
I realized on page 32,
Now,
it
we've
says
got-
at the
I've
bottom,
got one too.
I used language from Oldham County for the disturbance. I had city committees, and I thought, I'm gonna swap out that page,
Right?
Yeah, you had
just
to.
so you have
Chris.
a clean page for your
Your
record.
amino stuff should
Find
be
your
good.
sign on
Good.
I know you don't like.
Hey, is
the-
Ava in Denver?
Okay.
We're live. Yeah.
Here's
I'm going there tomorrow.
3 copies.
Yeah, that's what she said. General, we're
I
live.
don't want one.
All right.
Everybody got a copy, good.
We'll call this regular scheduled, special called meeting of the fiscal court into order, June 29th, 9 a.m. I would, if you will indulge me, I would still like to start out with a prayer and a pledge. And so, I will offer up the prayer if it's okay with the court, and then we'll follow by the pledge.
Great, thank you.
Dear Lord, thank you for this day. We ask that you be with each and every one of us and give us the wisdom we need to make Boyle County and all of its citizens and residents better at where they are, where they live, where they work, and where they play. We ask that you give us the guidance and direction that you want us to do for everybody to make this place the best it can be. We ask that you give us those tools that we need to be responsive to our constituents throughout the county, that we hear their wants and their needs, and that we work diligently to supply them with those things that generally make this place the best place they could want to live. We thank you for all your strength, your support, and your efforts to guide us in all that we do, dear Lord. And we thank you for this day. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Man.
And followed by the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. We've got some copies of the budget that are being printed right now. And so what I would like to do, since we have a small, short agenda today, is kind of start out in reverse order, if you don't mind, because we're still printing copies of the budget. And Julie, if you don't mind, explain to them why right now it's being printed, because of the road grant issue and some things there.
Yes, last night about 5 o'clock, Keegan was working on the last little bit of the budget, and we realized that there were some questions in the Trails grant that we didn't quite understand what had happened, where the money. So we spent about 2 hours going back through and building the history of that grant. Mary kept impeccable records. So we went back through and matched everything up and put it in order, and we had some questions that we needed Dwayne to answer, and Dwayne's of course on vacation this week. So we found out, he called just while you all were coming in this morning and clarified a couple things. We didn't know how much to put in the budget for what we were going to receive back in reimbursements from the state, and we didn't know how much the fiscal court approved in cash match. We couldn't find that set of minutes in the file. So
Going back to 16 and 17.
yeah, this could go back, to the original when you first approved the first conceptual grant. So There was a lot of digging through last night, sitting on the floor, digging through file
Oh.
cabinets, trying to find it. I think we've figured out what we think we're gonna get back from the state, and so he plugged that number in this morning, and that's why we're copying
And,
it.
and
We-
it all bounces out with that
Yeah,
figure. that
We
number in there.
think, you know, it's best we can tell based on the history. There are 2 reimbursements from 2020 that we haven't gotten back yet. And then there's a big one that we're getting ready to send in, and so that skews your numbers, and we were just wanting to try to get it as correct as we could.
This is the continuing saga as part of the frustration with the state reimbursements. And
Yes,
And I know from when Mary was here, she had to call 5 or 6 times to get this lady named Kim
yeah,
to even, you know, when the state was, supposed to reimburse us the money, and the forms and everything had been sent in, and Mary called 5 times and they still didn't send it. So finally, it's just one of those kinds of frustration kinds of things. And we can't balance our books until we know where these stand.
right.
And that was like a $50,000 payment then, and, you know, so,
And now we're talking 250,000.
Yeah.
So we wanna make sure we get it right. It could be that we're not right, but we're going with what we think it is, based on what we talked to Dwayne about this morning. I think we're pretty close, so we did the best we could.
all right. So if you don't mind, we're gonna kinda just go in reverse order until we can get some more copies for everybody to have of the budget, and then we'll go over the changes.
Judge, and I'll look on.
We'll start with adjournment.
Start with adjournment.
Start with adjournment, go on.
Yeah.
First order.
Now, the administrative code, let's go over that, the adoption of the administrative code that Julie has worked, very
Alright.
tirelessly on. And,
I'll just go through the changes from the last meeting, okay? One is page 6, took out the language of, county administrator to match KRS. Page 9 is adding the county administrator job description in.
You say page 9, buddy?
Page 19, this is the change from the last meeting, 20 and 21 are the tax administration collection procedures that was included in your packet at the last meeting.
the policy statement that was circulated, procedures.
Okay, while we're on collection procedures, there is a House Bill 8 that has changed how we do collections for EMS. At some point, when we get a clear picture from the state on how that works, we will have to amend our policy. But we don't know, we're still trying to figure it all out, so we couldn't make the change until we know
This,
what it is.
this is one that Mike and I have talked about extensively, and I'm sure he's discussed in committee. The frustrations with House Bill 8 is it looks like you pay something forward, and then you get something more back and all that kind of stuff, so,
Yeah,
it's still in, well, I guess it's in black and white, but it's still not yet been, procedurally adjudicated.
Well, oftentimes administrative regs don't come out until summertime, and we just
Yeah.
got into summertime.
Yeah,
so just put that away, that someday we may have to amend the EMS collection for House Bill 8. All right, on page 24 and 25, the old administrative code said, refer to the attachment of the capitalization policy. I just inserted it in here just so you don't have an extra attachment. And the
Good.
final change is on page 32, and that's the sheet that I handed to you a minute ago, for disturbing the meetings, and this is the new, and I used some language from Oldham County and LaGrange. They had a really good kind of process and spelled out what they consider disturbing the meeting. So I just want to make sure that you're okay with that.
Okay, am I correct that we have not seen this until today?
You
That-
saw it in your email last
my bad.
Friday, yeah.
Okay, can we take a minute to read it?
yeah, please do.
Does this apply to anybody, whether they're a court member or not a court
Yes,
member?
yes,
A visitor?
yes. Yeah,
Or
it's,
read.
it doesn't spell out that this is only for guests.
What page is
It's
that on again?
32. Here you go.
I've got it on. mine.
Okay.
Counselor, do we need any kind of an action statement that would say, for example, that a deputy could escort the people out of the meeting?
Ma'am, hold on a second.
Is there a fine?
Yeah, 640.30. It's the same as what we had in before.
It didn't change on
Mm-mm,
page
no.
33.
I think it talks in the procedure 640.2 B. It talks about if you ask them to leave and if they
Civil
don't,
officer, yeah.
then you would get a
Well, sergeant at
law
arms, yeah,
enforcement
I
to-
think that would cover it with sergeant at
Yeah.
arms.
law enforcement to take them out. So
Yeah, okay,
I think that covered it pretty well.
yeah, gotcha. Thank you. Thank
And
you,
it does
Judy.
say if it's, you know, you can recess the meeting until the disturbance is
Good.
taken care of, so.
Well done.
Is that,
Julie, y'all
Eight.
worked on this tirelessly, and I know the court appreciates it, okay?
thank you.
On-
Guess that means you'll have to pay for
Judge will tell you, I always be, right, Judge?
Always pay.
Any other changes you see, Chris?
On page 6, I'm not asking for any change other than, you know, what you made, but I do want to point out, it talks about how the deputy, judge, the executives,
What page, sir?
page 6, talks about how he's gonna act when the judge executive is not in the county. I was just looking though at 667, KRS 67.040, and kind of in conjunction with, what's this one? In conjunction with the 110.1.3, it talks about how that judge executive's not to chair or vote on the fiscal court, you know, can't preside over the fiscal court. 67.040, which is of the KRS, talks about how the magistrates elect somebody to preside over the meeting.
That would be the pro temp, is that not
Yeah.
true? That the,
So I don't know, like, if you even need to reference that or not, but
Okay,
it says county judge executive shall preside if present, a majority of justices of the peace or commissioner shall elect one of their number to preside during the absence or inability of the county judge executive to preside. If any person fails to comply with the lawful order of the fiscal court, the circuit court, an application, county judge executive may compel obedience by proceedings for contempt.
But I'm with the judge, that's redundant with the fact that we have pro temp.
is it? For the court.
Looks like you're taking my power away.
I don't know, I'm
His
just
power.
telling you that the magistrates are the one that's supposed to elect, you know,
There are
the
5
person.
more of us, Bill.
Supposed to elect the person to, like, preside over the meeting, in
Well,
their
then we can
absence.
formally do that, I
I
mean.
mean,
Well, usually, that's done, the judge makes a nomination, and then
And
the
we
court
voted
votes for
on it.
it.
We voted on it.
Yes, sir.
would it be,
It
I
might
could
also
put a-
mean if
I-
both of them you can't be here, then
That's an issue.
we would,
Then you would have to
then we would have. to
nominate and
vote.
elect
Right.
somebody from this body.
Body.
Yeah,
Yes.
we'd still have a quorum.
Yeah.
I don't think you're not questioning whether it's been done or not, you're just saying it needs to be written out. Is that what
Right, I
heard
just
you
was
say?
saying, you know, because the deputy judge executive cannot preside over the meeting or like be vote or
Spell
whatever.
out who does.
I just saying 67.040 tells how it's done. Somebody is gonna preside over the meeting in his absence, and that somebody's gonna be the person that's elected by the magistrates.
Well, but we're already selected when he appointed someone, and then he made the nomination, and the body voted on it. Am I
What if
correct,
we have
Judge?
buyer's remorse?
Now, in all seriousness, we could convene with our pro tem, and we could take that action just for the minutes, if for nothing else.
I mean, it sounds like you've done that.
Yeah,
For
we have.
67.
He's not
That's why I said-
recommending
I'm
a
not
change.
saying, I'm just saying that
That's
I
why I
don't know
say
if
it's
you like,
redundant.
you know, it says because you can't preside over the meeting, refer to 67.04.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say page 31, it talks about
Okay.
appointing, so I could say see 620.2 for, who chairs the meeting.
Clarification.
I could add a little line in there to reference page 31, 620.2.
Can we do that without coming back another time on
I
this?
think
Oh,
so,
yeah, I think so.
yeah,
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 all right.
okay.
Did everybody hear what Julie recommended there?
What'd she say? I didn't hear it.
See, I'll put a little line, see page 620.2 for process for presiding the meeting or something like that. I'll make a little
Okay,
sentence up
that's
it.
fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, and that'll just show, okay. Anything else?
That's minor. I don't think we need
I
to.
make the motion, we approve the administrative
Second.
code.
Okay.
Second,
This is the second reading on this, so.
Second reading.
Yeah. We have a motion to approve the administrative code by Magistrate Gay and second by Magistrate Ellis. Now, any further discussion? You've seen gone through and heard the changes, there's recommendations from the first one to the second one, that we made during the first one, so. No, there's no further discussion. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign, motion carries. That's
All right,
second
if
reading.
you all give me your copies back, I will make you a clean set and spiral bound it and give it to you forever and ever.
Forever and ever.
Okay,
Till the next
so
time
I'll
we
pick
have
them
to
up at
change
the
it.
end of the meeting.
Does it say
was
in
that
your
a
house?
second page 32?
I think it does.
Annually.
From.
I think it's
Yeah.
annually.
Annually.
Yeah, I believe it says in here,
Huh?
It does,
Might need to
yeah.
stick it in there.
Annually.
because there's some
Page
attachments.
32.
Don't have no idea.
All right, staying with the reverse order, let's talk about budget transfers.
No budget transfers. That was just on there for,
Cash transfers, none?
cash transfers, there's 120,000 to the joint jail, 85,200 being for Boyle, 34,800 is Mercer's portion. That is just to keep us, so that we're positive throughout the year, or throughout the end of the FY, and to cover payroll for the the first payroll in July.
Make the motion, we approve the cash
Second it.
transfer.
All right, the motion has been made, and was it cash or what?
Cash.
It was cash transfer, okay, motion to approve the cash transfer for the, joint jail amount, made by Magistrate Gay, is there a second?
Second.
Magistrate Short seconded. Discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries, thank you for that.
34,800.
All right, so now we're on to the second reading of the budget for 2021-22.
I will go through these highlighted changes if you all want to. I'll leave that up to you all. Most of them I think you all know about, and they're pretty self-explanatory. But you all just let me know what you want to do.
Are they extensive?
Not really.
I prefer to go through.
I mean, I'll go through each single one with you.
Well, we need to.
All right. So the first one that's
My
highlighted.
question before you go, do we need to, Judge?
I think it's a good idea, since it's
Okay.
not extensive,
Okay.
to go through each line like,
I guess
you know,
we need to.
why is it $125,000 under business license that we just discussed last court session?
I'll go through each one.
Anything new?
Okay,
Yeah.
so I decreased the excess fees for the attorney. I talked to Tina over there. She said it wasn't going to be over more than $3,000 this year. That's why I decreased that per county attorney's information. Business license, that 125, I had mentioned that before, and that was due to us decreasing the
I can't follow you. I don't know where you are.
On
Yeah.
page
oh,
one.
page one.
On
Page one, see the gray highlighted areas?
Give us, oh,
Right
I see,
column.
I'm sorry, now
The
it's.
gray
yeah,
highlighted areas on
gotcha.
the right column.
Gotcha.
4401,
Yep. You ready?
yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Business license is still on the first page. I decreased it to 125,000, and that was due to us changing the amount of the business license of 50 and 100 to 25 and 50,
25, 25.
or 25, 25. Sorry, I apologize.
That's right.
But that was the reason for the decrease there. I had too much on the animal control. That is for our grant with the Humane Society, that it needs to be 5,000. That's what that is. I had too much in there originally. If you go to the second page, you'll see the soccer field / KU water reimbursement. That's no longer going on. They have discontinued that per Dwayne's information, so I took that out. If you go to the third page there, you'll see that Boyle Jail and the EMS transfers out is different, and when we get to that section, I'll explain that. Okay, so keep flipping. And when you get to where you see IT vehicle fuel at the top, that's where we're at.
Code number?
5057455.
It ought to be good for you to remember
Yeah, I'm doing it right now.
the
Sorry,
pages.
sorry, sir.
It's all right.
Keep going.
50 what?
5057455.
55.
At the top of the page,
Yep, there you go, right there. Is everybody there?
Yes, sir.
We are.
Okay.
IT.
IT new equipment, I up that 3,000. That was originally what we had approved anyways. I had just forgot to change that from 12 to 15. If you notice down there, economic development, what I'm gonna do is for that economic development asset, so that we can start tracking that, I'm gonna open a bank account at Farmers and separate that 30,000 out, so that if each year we want to put 30,000 into that account and we can start tracking that for asset development, then we can do that.
Yeah.
Good plan.
So that is what I've done there. You know, we just haven't done anything with it, and I would just like for us to start tracking that, and that way we can have that separated.
Good deal.
If you flip one page and go to the next one, you'll see highlighted that I took out the building inspector new vehicle, and that is due to we are going to give the jailers Ford Focus to Rusty, so we don't have to buy him a vehicle.
We need to surplus that Jeep out, cause
Yep.
it's had better days.
And so we've kind of discussed me and the judge have kind of discussed what we're going to do, just to give you all a little update. The jailer's car is going to go to Rusty. The jailer is going to get the truck from Dwayne that we know he's getting. Dwayne's going to wait on his new truck. Bill is going to take, there was a truck from Animal Control.
It was John Hamill's little
Yeah.
Colorado or something truck with a camper on the back, and he can lock that camper up and use it.
Yep, and he can
overnight.
put
and
ladders and everything else in there, and
Yeah.
so Bill is wanting to take that, and until Dwayne can get his new truck, he's gonna drive Bill's old car. But we can, when it comes time, Bill can surplus his car, and we can surplus Rusty's Jeep, and maybe get Angie a new truck. They're looking for a new truck over there in solid waste, so if we can do that. But when the
It'll be a
time,
good use.
it'll be a good little time, but that's just a little update on what's going on there.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, keep flipping a while here. 2 or 3 pages, and we're at 5401571 at the top.
Parks, property, equipment,
Yep.
maintenance, and repair.
Yep, you got
Next
it.
page.
Everyone there?
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll see, I originally had the 259, and I had forgot to change that back to the original appropriation of 322, and that 259 was from COVID. And if you'll see later on, we had 44,000 set aside to make that up in reserve, but this is what the actual appropriation is, and I had to put that back to the original amount of 322.
Okay.
It was down because the pool was closed and the fitness center was closed. You know, so they're both open now.
Next page.
So the reserve for transfer changed, and you'll see why if you flip to the next page, and I have that in there. And what you'll see is, what you'll see is at the top is, so that 53,277.15, we'll get reimbursed that through FEMA, but I have to take that out for now, and whenever I get that back, I will make the catastrophic events, 200,000 in total. And that was due to, so I could have done it two ways. I could have took that out of the CARES money, or I could have just did it the way that I did it. And the reason I did it the way that I did it is because I didn't want to double dip, and Rusty's going to get reimbursed that through the FEMA. That's what he's applying for. So I left it in there as taking out 53,000 out of our catastrophic reserve until we get reimbursed that through FEMA.
Okay, that's good to know, because that was one of the questions I definitely had, is why that was introduced.
Yep. So that's what's going on there. And then you'll see, the first time that I did the budget, I hadn't taken out everything that we actually spent from the CARES reserve. So the body cams are in there, and then like our lifts that we got at EMS are in there. And if you take that out, that is actually what we have in total left of the CARES money.
Total left is the 1,015,000.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's
Right
after
along.
those things have been taken out?
Yes, sir.
The 358 is the body cams and the power lifts.
What's
Because
the
we-
status on the training and all that?
As far as I know, it's just about done. I talked to Sam a couple days ago and, last week, late, and he said he had 2 body cams left to field to, to set up. All the dash cams are done and the training is done.
Great.
So, I don't, the sheriff is out this week, and, so it's probably about as live as it's gonna get, I guess.
Yeah. I know a few of the sheriffs they've been out of town, haven't got their body cams yet. They're still waiting to get theirs, but, I mean, we're about 100% live.
Yeah, we're just
That is-
about
that
100%.
Very important.
But yeah, you have to account for those things because those are things that we wouldn't have bought without the CARES money. So that's where that comes from. Okay, you flip through the road department here, flip through the jail. There's no changes there.
Bill said he's already taken requests for videos.
Well, just write them down, make sure we get them.
All right, if you'll
I
get
mean, I
to
think he means for the sheriff.
if you'll get to the page where it says Boyle Jail Fund Income, about midway through the page,
What number?
the top of the page says 9,100, 521. So keep flipping through there. Right
Oh,
there.
I see down there.
Right there.
Yeah.
Quick question on back to the CARES real quick.
Okay.
Where are we buying your, what are we using to buy your buses?
Yeah. So I didn't put that in the EMS fund. We'll just transfer that as needed.
Okay.
And we're also
By
getting.
what? You talking about the
Yeah, no, I know, I
the
said,
buggies?
yeah, 2 buggies at
Yeah.
$500,000 about, so I didn't know, should we not put that in there and to hold that money or no? Is it in the budget?
Yeah. The million is still in the budget.
No, I mean about the $500,000 to buy the,
Oh yeah. And I just left it in the general fund because that's where it's at. I would have had to transfer over that money over to EMS and made it a carryover. So I just figured it would be easier that
no,
we can.
that's fine, I just wanna make sure that the money's,
It's set
No,
aside
no,
for
it's
it.
there.
it's set aside for
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
I just don't want us thinking that we've got $1 million to spend when we got
Well,
$500,000
no.
we gotta
Got a
buy
$500,000.
something.
And we should all know, we all approved that, or you all approved that was basically for EMS. I've just left that in the general
No,
fund
okay.
to transfer that as needed.
Yeah,
So that's what's going
Is that
on.
okay? You
Yeah.
answered the question?
we're all in
We draw any kind of interest
short-term
on that?
memory
On
problem
the interest-
stage of our lives, so I just wanna make sure we
General.
we get the EMS taken care of.
So that $1 million gonna draw some money. from it.
Exactly. See, and that's what I've been waiting. They've been up in the air about ARPA on that, and it's a little. We'll get. That's a whole different discussion, but. So if you'll see there that I adjusted the Boyle jail fund income for 26,500, and that is for basically that is the replacement of Rusty getting a new vehicle for the jailer to get a new vehicle, so that he can actually use the vehicle.
For transport.
Yep. That is what that is.
on the next page, it shows.
That's what that shows exactly what it is for. Now, if you'll flip to where, well, yeah, go ahead, that's fine. EMS fund income. Okay, so with this House Bill 8, I had to change
What
this.
page we on?
It says EMS fund income at the top.
4801.
45031.
Right here.
I apologize, I should have numbered these for you all.
Code does it for us.
Yeah, code on the left on page 5.
4503-1, EMS fund income at the top. You're going the wrong way, Ronnie.
Way over to back.
Oh, we're way over there, huh?
Yeah,
Okay, I got that.
There you
there you
There you go.
Okay, everybody there?
Okay, so the deal is with that House Bill 8, so we had to go back and, in the month of June, we got reimbursed for 6 months worth of back pay. And so that changed my carryover and stuff of that nature, and that's why you're seeing a difference there. Originally, we had no House Bill 8 in this year's budget. We didn't have to do a budget amendment because I'm not spending that money. It's still gonna be there for a carryover next year. But that's what that is, and the majority of that for the EMS, that's why you see all that highlighted, and that's why the surplus has changed, that's why the transfer in has changed. We had to change that amount because originally we didn't have House Bill 8 in this budget, so that's what's going on there.
very lovely. Move right along.
But the good thing about it is, I mean, this House Bill 8 is gonna be great too. You know, we just gave raises, and I think that's gonna help with the raises, pay for the raises and stuff. We're getting extra money there that we hadn't had originally. If you flip a page and you look down, reserve for transfer, I had that at the amount from the year before, and the rule of thumb is that each fund gets 10,000, and that's where it's at. So I needed to change that to 10,000, and that's what's going on there. If you flip to the next page on our health insurance, the specific / aggregate reimbursed, I took that out. We're not getting any of those, and I don't suspect that we'll get any this year. And if we do, you know, that'll just be a budget adjustment. But I took that out and balanced up our health insurance, and that ultimately changed the total there. So that is what is going on there.
Yeah, on the health, this is health insurance just for EMS or what?
No, this is our health insurance
Health
fund.
insurance. There, the court needs to know that we're working on some initiatives in health insurance that could require an amendment to the budget. Yet we're not there right now in the discussions with Mark,
What is it?
Morgan. And so we're working toward improving and offering for our county employees, but we're not there yet. So we don't know what impact it will directly have.
And if you'll see on the next page, because I took that out, it changed my reserves, and that's why I've highlighted all of those to be different. And that's just a notification for you all. So if you notice at the end, our budget total is actually a little less, and we won't get any problems with that from DLG. It's usually whenever you go up, they have a problem with that. So if you go down, they like that, but we're all good there to go, and I don't see us having any problems, and hopefully this time they'll get it done in a timely manner. So.
Move we approve the second reading of the budget for
Second,
21-22.
second. Beat Ronnie to it.
Discussion, Judge?
Yeah, let me restate it for the record. Motion made to approve the second reading of the budget by Magistrate Gate, second by Magistrate Sammons. Now we can discuss.
where do I find the specific line item for Perryville, that was part of that composite that we did weeks ago? I see Perryville Battlefield, and I see a page that I've numbered 26, but it's 4901 and 5315 on the same page. I don't see a line item specific to what we voted on earlier on Perryville itself.
You get a copy of this.
She's getting them back.
Oh, that's
Believe
right.
that's in the allocation was total, I'm not sure
Thank
if it's
you.
always.
She's giving us a new copy.
Yeah,
So that is
Copy
unchanged.
Drive me up the wall.
right.
Correct.
I've highlighted all the changes.
That's fine.
If anything that changed between the
All
first and
this
second
cost
reading,
us
they were
all
highlighted
this
today.
shit.
Just for the record, thank you.
So,
This was the appropriations aspect of what we did. You know what you're talking
yeah,
about?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's already accounted for in there.
Great, thank you.
So, nothing has changed. If it did change, I highlighted it. So,
Most appreciated.
Any other discussions, questions, comments?
Call for the question.
All those in favor of approving the second reading of the budget for the FY 21-22, please, vote in, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, the like sign. And the budget, is approved by the court for the second reading. And thank you for that.
Second.
Oh.
We have-
One thing, I'm just like looking for what I was telling you guys, and you know, I wanted to look at like Pulaski County also. I really don't think that the county judge executive can appoint a pro tem. I mean,
Well, it's been that way for 100 years.
Well, doesn't
Why
mean
would
it's
you
right.
change it?
so I mean, I'm just saying, you know, I'm not trying to take any duties of yours or you know away or whatever.
You know, but can I interrupt you,
Sure.
since I'm pro tem? He is not actually appointing one, he's recommending one. and
I
the court-
recommended
we
it,
voted
and the
it.
court
The court
voted on it.
approves it.
Okay. Well, just for example, like we have similar administrative code as Pulaski County, and just kind of under the presiding officer, just like what we have. You know,
Where you going for Pulaski County Sheriff for?
I'm looking to look at others to see if it's similar or how you know I'm interpreting the law. And if the county judge is not present or able to preside, a majority of the magistrates shall elect one of their members to
Which
preside.
they've done, which they've done.
Been done, moving right
Okay.
along.
well,
Yeah, they've
can I
done.
say one thing?
Yeah.
I appreciate y'all being patient with me through this budget. You know, it was my first one, definitely a learning curve, and I know there might have been some frustration. You know, I could have done some things better. There's always room for growth, and I promise that, you know, next year I'll work out some kinks, and hopefully stuff will go a little smoother. But I just really appreciate y'all sticking with me and being patient with me, and it's been a learning curve.
Well, I
So
think as a new man, you've done a wonderful job.
I appreciate that, Phil. I don't know if it's wonderful, but we got the
that's
job
my-
done, didn't we?
that's
That's right, we
So-
got it
I'm-
done, didn't we?
That's my feeling.
I'm gonna backtrack
Yeah.
here for like 5 seconds too, and yeah, you did a good job, and I know it's hard work. This is not an easy thing to do, especially a young man at your age. But I don't appreciate the court's tone when it comes to our county attorney. He's trying to keep us out of trouble. So
No,
if
he is.
but if he's got advice, we don't need just to snap
Oh, no,
at
I
him.
accept
Well,
his
I
advice.
apologize.
we-
I didn't mean that.
Okay, I just want to make sure. I mean, he's the one that's going to keep us out of trouble.
I like him doing what he's doing.
I really want him to continue to do what he's doing, but I think
Yeah.
we need to like make sure that we listen to him and
I didn't mean to be curt, but I just think we've
okay.
already elected the person, and that's the process.
I just don't like how it says as appointed by the county judge executive. I mean,
So you want that,
technically, you're not allowed to. I mean, I understand how the process, but
You wanna change that in there is what
you wanna change that, you wanna change
Will
that
it fit?
underlined area?
As suggested.
I let my law degree lapse, so I'm gonna you know say that maybe his wording is what we kind of
I mean, if you
recommend,
recommend somebody, then you guys could be.
which is I think is what
That's
is
why I
what
said we
I
could
think
do
what we
it to start
did.
I just
the
don't
meeting.
like how it
Let's
says.
change it, let's agree that the language will reflect that the judge can nominate a pro tem elected by the balance of the court,
yeah.
Majority of the magistrate. Yeah.
majority of the magistrates.
Which I agree.
Okay?
I think what we have done, but I think our administrative code should reflect something of that language, just to beef it up to make sure that
Is that okay?
we understand.
Everybody agree that we don't need to, do we need to vote on that again?
I would
It's
say,
just
that I
language
recommend that we
included?
do. I make the motion that we nominate Bill Sammons as our deputy.
I don't think you need to do that.
No, I don't think we need to do that. I just
No,
think
no.
We can't do that today.
No,
No.
no,
I
I
was
just
thinking
wanna
for the
add the
record.
language to the administrative code that reflects what his recommendation is.
Yeah.
There you
That
go.
I don't have the authority to appoint, it's elected by the court.
Right,
Yeah.
Okay.
that's what I
As long
do.
as-
Put
as long
the-
as the attorney's
Similar-
Satisfied with it.
Similar to your board appointments, I think that's
Yeah.
proper, so.
Yeah, so
anyway.
if everybody's in agreement, that will be reflected in the administrative
We're in
code,
agreement.
that you'll have a clean copy of next time.
Yep,
Very good.
wonderful.
So, do we need to, as amendment, make that recognition?
I think
Or
just
at least for the
make it.
record.
Yeah, I'll make that
All right.
motion to amend, make that amendment.
I mean,
Okay,
like-
motion
like-
made by Magistrate Gay. Who seconds it?
I'll second.
Second by Magistrate Ellis, to make that language change in our administrative code to reflect compliance with statute as recommended by council.
Judge,
Perfect.
before we adjourn, you might want to mention the joint meeting that we're hopeful, the date.
Can we vote on that first? That motion?
Yeah, we need to vote on it.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah. So any discussion on that?
No?
There being
No, I
none,
think
all
so.
those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign, and the motion carries. Thank you. Now, what,
The joint meeting that you talked about this morning when I first came in with the city.
we're working, just this information, it's not an agenda item, information. We're working on 2 meetings coming up with the city. One is the one we talked about last court session, which is a joint city-county, discussion to move forward, maybe on the afternoon of the 15th of July, okay?
I'm out.
Are you out?
I'm gonna be gone the 15th through the 18th. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you guys have 2 meetings scheduled
We
for.
had one on the 16th for water and a water summit. And, yeah, some of the projects are in your district,
Yep.
out at Gwen Island and
Mhm.
Spears and Mox Creek.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, you leave when?
15th.
The 15th, early on the 15th?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not.
Because
I
want
it's a
every-
catering event, so I've got to. Yeah.
I want every magistrate that has a potential water project to be at this meeting.
I think that'd be
on
great.
the water summit. So, let me get back with you.
Okay.
Uh,
And I'll throw a little more issue in your planning. The following weekend, my daughter gets married, so I'll be. So from the 15th to the end of the month, or till the 24th, it's kind of.
You're
it-
kinda out.
I'm a little
Can we
booked.
do it any earlier than 15?
We can try, we can take a look at it, because it's not just us, but. how
Yeah,
about
of course.
First 2 weeks in July, what's everybody else in town,
That should
around,
be
the
fine.
neighborhood, or whatever?
That should
I'm
be
tied
fun.
up on a weekend, Judge.
He's got some extra naps to catch up on.
Yeah, I'm with Ronnie there. The earlier the better.
We'll see what we can do. I'll
I
get
thought
back
we
with
was gonna
you,
do it, I thought we was gonna do it at the field for some reason, I don't know. where
I'll get
they-
back with you through emails.
All right.
On that, both the water summit and the city-county collaborative meeting on EDA.
And they're at City Hall.
Most likely. Basement.
The EDA might not be at City Hall. The water summit will be in the basement of City Hall because of the audio-visual capabilities that we have down there to go through those stuff. And everybody is invited, not just the magistrates that have a district project. And that is, 2nd, 1st, and 4th. And that's it. Everybody else is invited on the water summits, okay? So, we'll get back to you through the emails.
All right. Back to the budget real quick.
Yep.
Any continued cleanup you could do would be fantastic. I think you've done a good job so far, so appreciate your hard work. Again, it's not easy. Us just looking at it, let alone trying to make sense of it and understand. So, good job.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks to everybody for their work on the budget, that's for sure. And you, Keegan, for your comments as well. We knew it would be a learning curve, and it has been. We've done a good job of working through that process and hopefully continue to grow. But I'll make my motion to adjourn.
Second.
It's already been done.
Motion to adjourn, made by Magistrate Gay,
Third.
second by
We're in
Magistrate
discussion
McCullen.
about adjourning.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign, we stand in adjournment.
Nay.
3 o'clock.
Till
I've never
Washington
seen a
Park.
guy.